Good morning to one and all. Good day to one and all. Uh, Myself Vinay from MA first year, and I want to discuss today about my topic is Wittgenstein never change. This in this work I'm not discussing entirely about entire Wittgenstein. I'm just discussing about the meaning of the meaning in language of Wittgenstein, early Wittgenstein, later Wittgenstein. First, let me introduce Ludwig Wittgenstein to you. He's an Austrian British philosopher. His life mainly we can say divided into two phases, which we are identifying them as books. The first one is Tractatus Logico Philosophus, which is his PhD thesis, which is submitted in 1921. It was published in 1921. And the second book is Philosophical Investigations, which was published in 1953 after his death. Uh, his philosophy is he believed that philosophy clarifies the problems in problems arise from language. In Tractatus, he believed that the job of philosophy is to resolve problems, not create theories. Yeah, the resolution of problems according to the Tractatus is via logical analysis, showing the limits of senses. Whereas for investigations, the resolution of problems is via description of ordinary language and language games and reminders. First, the aim of this work I'm doing is to rationally identify the continuity in Tractatus and investigations, philosophical investigations, and to explain the significance of Tractatus, to explain the inefficiency of ordinary language to solve philosophical problems. And I'm not the first one to identify this continuity. There are a lot of people who already did this, like Cora Diamond and some other philosophers who already did this. And the methodology of this work is done on rational basis, comparatively analyzed and came to conclusion on rational basis with my experience. This is disclaimer I already gave you that this work is not about entire works of Wittgenstein. This is just about the meaning of propositions. And before going into the discussion, let me first we have to discuss some topics, which of one of it is ideal language. Wittgenstein suggested that ordinary language is not sufficient to solve the problems in Tractatus. He says that ordinary language is vague, social dependent, emotion loaded. He never said that ordinary language creates more problems. He even said that ordinary language creates more problems with its weak characteristics. And there are some facts that in real life, 80% of serious medical errors are caused by miscommunication. 80% of workplace conflicts reportedly stem from weak communication. And Wittgenstein and other philosophers thought that ideal language can solve all these problems and convey the information without loss by logically and precisely. Yeah, well, let's take an example that everyone didn't pass the exam. In ordinary language, it gives the meaning. It gives two meanings. One is only some people pass the exam, some failed. Everyone didn't pass the exam. In ordinary language, it gives the meaning of some pass, some failed. But for if this is written in ordinary language, if this has to be written in for this meaning, if this sentence has to be written in ideal language, it should be like this: not everyone passed. And this sentence also giving the other meaning of every single person failed. Everyone didn't pass the exam. Everyone failed. For that, if you want to write this sentence in ideal language, it has to be written like this: everybody failed. So they thought the ideal language will solve the most of the philosophical problems, and problems arise with language. And let me also introduce this picture theory, which was the core of the Tractatus Logico-Philosophicus, its first book. The core of this picture theory is a meaningful proposition or sentence is a picture of states of affairs. and where picturing means representing, symbolizing, writing about objects and things, facts. And let us discuss about facts and states of affairs. Yeah, consider first the world is totality. According to Wittgenstein, world is totality of facts, and facts is existing states of affairs, and states of affairs are combination of things, and things are simple and indivisible. Consider this mobile is one thing, and my hand is one thing, and I'm picking it, I am moving it, I am throwing it. Everything is a combination of things. This is called a state of affairs, and these are all possibilities. I can do whatever I want with this, with combining these two things, and this becomes fact when I do the thing. Now when I push it here, this becomes a fact, and representing these fact through propositions, then it becomes a meaningful proposition. And it doesn't say like only the true representation of true things, so only are meaningful. He said that picture of states of affairs, whatever I can do this with this mobile, I can throw it, I can use it, I can give it to someone else. If I am representing these states of affairs with proposition, these are meaningful. It says that for a proposition to be meaningful, it has to be correspond to reality. Just has to be correspond to reality, and the states of affairs should be inside the logical space, which are like they should obey the logics of this world we are living, like physics, biology, chemistry, whatever. It doesn't need to be true; it just have to be made sense, which means the proposition just needs to be possible even though it never happened, and the proposition needs to be logically systematically arranged. In real world situations, if we are trying to put them in proportions, like words are, we'll use words as objects, grammar as relations, and sentence is the model of the reality or the fact. And language games, and let me also discuss about language games, which is the core of philosophical investigations of Wittgenstein. Language games says that the crux of language games is ways people use words in real life with shared rules and purposes. So it says that the meaning of a proposition comes from its use. It says the meaning of propositions come from how words used in activities and not from the hidden or fixed definitions. Here, game rules, ways of playing, and in this language game there are games, game rules, game players, and etc. Everybody, like game players are like listener and speaker. Game rules are the logical rules we have created or that are existed in this world. For example, if you take her smile is like sunshine. He has a heart of stone. One man was full of gold, and we can also say that the exam was the piece of cake. Here, this doesn't mean literally because these are used in a language game of poetry. So here we are going to take the meaning of what we want to say. Or if the poet want to say a particular thing, he'll say it in the title itself. So we have to take the meaning of for this sentence according to what he want to say, what we are decided to experience. We can say this is a situational behavior. Yeah, my argument in this work is both tractatus and investigation says same thing about meaning in language. I'm saying meaning in language, not entirely language. Meaning in language in a different way. In tractatus, he said propositions need to be correspond with reality. In investigations, he said meaning comes from use. If a proposition does not correspond to reality, then there are two possibilities according to Tractatus. The proposition is not complete, or the proposition is not possible to occur in logical space. That's why it demands for, Tractatus for the, if the proposition is not complete, it demands full explanation. If it is incomplete, it demands full explanation, and investigation demands full explanation and logical structure, which will be predefined in language games. It doesn't require this logical structure inside the proposition, will be decided prior to the proposition in language games. Like, let's take an example. My friends are diamonds. Here for Tractatus, this doesn't have meaning, and for investigations in poetical language, the sentence can be valid even for T when given explanation and structure. My friends are as precious as diamond. This is the what the meaning of this. My friends are diamonds. The meaning of that statement is my friends are as precious as diamonds to me. This is the actual meaning, but for Tractatus, this statement is not valid, not enough for the meaning. Now Tractatus will accept this sentence since the proposition corresponds to reality. Now this can be correspond to reality, so that's why this will be valid for Tractatus. If we compare this with Tractatus and investigations, investigation carries the same meaning, but here in investigation it is predetermined that we are saying a poem. So we are taking the meaning of the main aim of the poem we are saying. But in Tractatus, asking proposition to have logical relevance. And Wittgenstein asked for ideal language in Tractatus. He is not against for simple sentences. He is just asking for logical expression. So in the end, investigations just eliminated the need of logical structure in propositions by introducing language games, which gives set of rules for the positions as a whole predeterminedly beforehand. This gives rules to the proposition beforehand. And the other we can, if we take other example, your smile is like sunshine. This needs more explanation, otherwise it is rubbish for Tractatus. Your smile gives as much happiness as watching a sunshine. It is, if we want to give complete meaning to the statements, we have to write like that. And in investigation, since this is a poetry, sunshine is a metaphor for happiness. This place is feels, and other for investigation this is enough. It has meaning. And other example like this place feels like heaven. And if you move forward, according to Aristotle, George Ball on stocks, logic is set of rules, which are logic equal to rules. And if you observe in Tractatus, structured logical propositions are meaningful, and in investigations, propositions in set of rules are meaningful. So with this thing, we can say that Tractatus and investigations are same. And this is my conclusion, which is done from my rational thinking and experience. So both in Tractatus and investigations, the aim is to dissolve the problems occurred due to misuse of language. And most of there is a very minority of philosophers who believe that Tractatus and investigations are continued, they are same. So they gave the name this same enemy but different weapons. His ideology never shifted but advanced. It was just advanced but never shifted. He just moved the rules from middle of the proportions to the title, saying this is poem, so this is the way you have to understand it. But whereas in Tractatus, you have to explain the meaning inside the proposition. And these are my readings for Tractatus, Logical Philosophicus and Philosophical Investigation. And thank you.